is Good Evening San Diego.
So there is a new eviction policy in the city of San Diego, and it's getting some pushback.
Coming up, how some say the no-fault evictions are having unintended consequences when it comes to penalizing landlords. Stay with us. There has been some pushback tonight on San Diego City Council's ban on no-fault evictions. We are talking more about it with Mark Powell. He sits on the board of directors for the San Diego Association of Realtors. First, Mark, let's start with what this means. What is exactly a no-fault eviction, and what is City Council doing with this?
So a no-fault eviction is eviction where the renter didn't do any violations of the lease and they paid their rent on time. However, the landlord wants to either move in, and they have the right, they can move in, or have one of their family members move in. So they're going to evict. It's no fault to them. They just want to move in. They want to sell it or remove the rental from the market, or they want to do repairs. And let's say there's some termite damage, or they want to remodel a kitchen. They'll say, you have to move out now, and we need to do these repairs.
So the city has essentially said that cannot happen. Is this a new move, or did this happen earlier and now is just getting maybe the momentum behind it?
No, actually, no-fault evictions are legal in San Diego. However, what the city wants to do is they want to fine the landlord. By fining the landlord, they would like to see the landlord pay 3 months of rent prior to having the person move in. So let's say you wanted to move back into your own rental place and you were charging $4,000 a month for rent. You would have to pay to the renter $12,000 for their moving expenses. And that what that really is that's stripping away private property rights. That's fundamentally saying, if you want to move back in your own place, we're going to fine you. And why should somebody have to pay money to move back into their own place?
And is this not something that can be negotiated in leases that says, you know, you could be given a 3 months notice that will need to move back in, or anything like that? Or is this just saying that this is legal and this is what the city of San Diego is going to be sticking with moving forward?
Well, it can actually be in a lease, but this ordinance is going to supersede it. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the city wanting to charge landlords 3 months rent for moving back in their place or for selling it, or they'll probably try and kick it back down a bit, and they go, okay, 3 months might be prohibitive. How about 1 month? But my stand is, why should the landlord have to pay the renter's moving expense? They moved in there without the renter's help. Why can't they move out?
What do you think the consequences are going to be moving forward for landlords and for people that own property?
Well, the biggest problem is what I'm seeing is landlords are now selling their properties. They're like, hey, I'm done with this. I don't need any more rules and regulations or stripping of my private property rights. So when they sell their rental property, what they do is they're actually removing one rental property off the market. And as we know, San Diego City has not built the number of homes that they have. So I don't believe the city council is kind of seeing the unintended consequences. Trying to help renters, they're actually hurting them by making it harder for them to find properties and raising the prices.
What do you want to see done? What are you hoping for as far as city council? Is there a chance that they could take this up in a different way, or maybe reconsider, or is it already a done deal?
Well, I think the San Diego City Council should reach out to the San Diego Association of Realtors and get the take from people who do this for a living.
Sure.
I know they reach out to the Apartment Association, but they should reach out to us, because we actually see the consequences, and we get it, believe me. It's expensive to rent, and it's hard to find a rental property. But let that be negotiated, that relocation assistance, let it be negotiated between the renters and the tenants. I mean, the tenants and the landlord. That's the best way to do it. But mandating it and stripping away private property rights, that's a slippery slope. And everybody listening, even if you don't own property, you should be concerned about this, because that's going in the wrong direction for our country.
Especially when we think about how hard it is, as you mentioned, to find that affordable housing and to be able to build the number of units that are needed right now to meet that demand.
Look, Hunter, government's not going to solve the problem that they created. They created this problem. They didn't build enough houses, and now they're going to try and solve it by penalizing landlords. That just doesn't make any sense.
Well, Mark Powell, we appreciate you taking the time again, as you mentioned, hoping that City Council talks to the San Diego Association of Realtors to get their side of this. As we know, there's always two sides to every story and every decision. We appreciate you taking the time tonight to come on and talk to us about it.
Thank you very much.